You have one new voicemail.
Hi! So you would be so proud of me. I'm hosting Thanksgiving for my friends, and I was stressed because I really wanted it to feel just like Michigan. But then I found the same stuffing mix that you use on Instacart. And I ordered instant gravy, canned cranberry, what else? Oh, I got everyone a little butter sculpture shaped like a turkey. All right, I should probably get cooking, but I miss you today. Happy Thanksgiving, Mom. Oh, and you should download Instacart. It's way easier than sending Dad to the store.
Download Instacart and enjoy free delivery on your first 3 orders. Service fees and terms apply.
All right.
Okay.
All right, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the History Hyenas. We got a wild one today. We're going to be talking about Florence Nightingale. I'm Chrissy Quarantine, Hyenas Yaya here, and then the guest for today for the first 15 minutes at least, because he's got to get back to the front lines. You may know him as Doc Outface. Lukasz Cygan, the BABI's godfather, is our guestie of the week. He's got to get back to the, sorry, I got jammed up. What's up?
Yeah. What's up, Guzzy Wuzzies?
I got jammed because Lukey always jams me up, and he really doesn't do any entertainment like this. Really, he's on the front lines battling the coronavirus and then trying to get his family out of World War II Poland. So we're gonna see how he does on the Hyenas. But he's a fan, and he's my BABI's godfather. And Lukey, Yanni's wife is pregnant. So
what is that official?
It's official. She's official.
Wow.
Yeah, she's knocked up. We got a bun in the oven, and I just got screamed at because I had to get her a French dip sandwich.
Yeah, congratulations, Yanni.
Yeah.
Bro, that's huge.
Obviously, our fans, having a doctor on is very important. Obviously, people want to know, and even me, I want to know. I waited to tell you this, but I want to know. The last couple of days, I have had body aches, a dry cough, and penile discharge. So does that mean I have corona?
I don't know if it's on the symptoms, but you could be the first, bro. We don't know anything about this virus. So you might be the first.
Now, let me ask you, what about anal warts? Is that been associated with corona or no?
Again, it's lots unknown. I haven't read into it, though. I haven't seen that. You could be, again, you're the first one.
Now, Mike, our producer Mike's right eye is swollen. Mike, you want to just show your eye? You fucking.
Yeah, let's see it, Mike.
You
How long's been going on for?
Mike, put your eye on, you anime.
Let's see, Mikey.
Look at Mike's. Look at his eye. Good. He's saying it's swollen.
How long's it been going on for, Mike?
I noticed it this morning.
Oh, okay.
Right.
You got like a sty? Is there something itchy?
No, there's no mass. It's just like the eyelid's a little swollen.
All right.
Well, you know what I think it is, Mike? You know what I think's been happening is you're banging these blow-up dolls, and then you're gluing in them, and then you're fingering the blow-up dolls, and then you're itching your eye with the finger.
I can't afford those.
Yeah, you got it. There's bacteria that lurks in plastic. You got to really clean those things after you bang them out, Mike.
Okay.
Pseudomonas.
All right, Mike. Get out of here.
Now, Lukasz is battling the coronavirus on the front lines. He also does a lot of charity work, side work. Some of that charity work being constantly getting called from Chrissy to find out what his symptoms are. So you do a lot of free medical work for your friend.
Pro bono, yep.
At what point are you going to start charging him? Because the kid's always got some sort of bacteria that gets into his urethra.
And the pharmacies I have to fucking send them to, too. Like Florida, Orlando, I have to send a napalm.
Disney World.
Disney World.
What about the wildest thing you had to do is you called in
CVS in Orlando.
You called in a chlamydia bomb to Florida.
Yeah, that was pretty wild last year. And then, wherever his comedy shows are, it's like if they ever investigate my prescription patterns, they'll be like, what the fuck?
I know sometimes he actually goes, do you send the prescription to a different CVS just so they don't see him again? Because I know sometimes he doesn't want the same CVS to see him going back in for a repeat cleaning.
Yeah, I mean, he's like, I do wherever he wants me to go. And it's all over the place.
The CBS in Bay Ridge, it's all legal, but because I was going in there so much, they thought that I was getting prescriptions that weren't mine and selling them on the street. They were asking me a few follow-up questions.
Dude, speaking of COVID, azithromycin, which you've taken once or twice, that's the drink.
Right,
bro,
azithromycin.
That's being studied for fucking COVID.
So tell them about that. Azithromycin, which treats chlamydia, is also treating COVID-19. That's true?
Well, I mean, it's in the trials. Well, there hasn't been any definitive evidence, but yeah. And, there's a national shortage, and I don't know if it's because of COVID or it's because of your antics, bro.
I know, bro. Yeah, I know. Well, see, that's what Hyenas has got a theory that I'm not going to get corona because I've already been exposed to many other viruses from many different people, that corona would just be like, it'd be no problem at all.
Yeah, like when like you're trying to get on the subway in the morning and it's just too full and you just like, I'll just wait for another one. There's no
Yeah.
I feel like COVID will show up in his system and it's just already full of so much bacteria and virus. It just go, you know what, I'll get the next person.
Yeah, I'll move on. Yeah, maybe. I mean, maybe.
I won't mention his name, but our friend who's a fan of the show who was hospitalized, did he get out?
Oh, dude. He actually, I asked him, so he's not violating HIPAA. Mitchy Bellis, he got discharged 2 days ago. Again, talk about a fucking hero. Like literally 10 days, like 2 weeks ago, he intubated like 10 people in a matter of days. And a week ago, he got really, really sick. Thankfully, it was scary for a little bit, but he got discharged on Sunday. So we're all pumped up. He's a fucking warrior. He really is.
Shout out to you, really Mitchie. Shout out, Mitchie. We know you're listening, and we're glad that you're recovered, and we love you, babe.
Thank you, Mitch. I appreciate you, Mitchie Bellis. Thank you for being an FF and matriarchy member. So we're gonna give you something for free as soon as this ban lifts. Because right now we need your money. I know you're in the hospital, but we need your money, guy. So. No, I'm kidding. Whatever you want for free, Mitchie, it's on us.
I love that we're calling Mitchie, by the way.
Yeah.
I got a quick question before we get into a lot of the corona, which I know a lot of people are curious about. Just you and a lot of our fans don't know, you and Chrissy are friends from college. You guys went to St. Joe's together. You played in the same basketball team. Now, you became a doctor, and Chrissy, for a while, was going to be a physical therapist. Now, that could have been a dream for such close friends because you could have actually treated people and then sent them to your Filipino friend named Chris Stefano to get them worked over. Did he kind of kill the dream team by going into comedy?
A little bit. Now, now I just have to like listen to him next to my medical podcast. It's like either learn about COVID or listen to the FFs on History Hyenas. That's my choice right now.
But you know what? Another thing, Giannis, is what you didn't know is not only did we go to undergrad together, but graduate school. Lukasz went to medical school at New York College of Osteopathic Medicine, NICOM, and on the same campus was my physical therapy program, NYT. So I was getting my doctorate in physical therapy, and Lukasz was becoming a medical doctor, and we were on the same campus. So we went to postgraduate together as well.
Did you ever send a patient your way that you massaged after they had something wrong with them?
No, because I immediately came out and started working with children. Yeah. So I didn't. But I think if I would have worked with athletes, I think for sure we would have gotten into business together, and then my father, Barney Rubble, would have stolen the money from the business. Lukey knows my pops. Lukey knows my pops.
He's the best.
Yeah. I mean, Lukey's had to call in some prescriptions from my pops too, and we've also had to pay off some mafia members who need their money. So
now,
I mean, Luke's a good kid. He wore a nice shirt because he knew he was going to be on the program. So I mean, the thing with Lukey is we're the same guy, cut from the same cloth, but Lukey's just a professional, good guy, great husband, will be a great father one day. He never found himself getting into the problems that I got into. I think it's because he just has hardcore, just Polish immigrant World War II parents he's one of those, stories where he grew up, 9 kids in a studio apartment, whatever those fucking stories are,
Yeah, no, he's the immigrant story, the son of immigrants, hardworking. I mean, like my grandparents, because I'm 2 generations where they didn't speak in English. If you're going to speak to Lukasz's parents, you're going to have to do a lot of hand signaling because you're just going to have to point to things you want, try to smile, and say okay, because the kids, make no mistake, they don't speak much English.
And it was hard for me, being mostly German, to look at that face and not just want to smash it every day, because that's the type of face that the Germans would see and say, no, we got to get those faces out of here.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at Lukasz, if you're German, you kind of look at him the way a painter looks at a room he just painted when he feels like he just missed the spot.
Yeah. Lukasz just missed the spot.
Lukasz just looks like the spot that the painter missed. When you're German, that's what you're peeping out.
Yeah. Now, Luke, okay, so let's talk about COVID-19. Obviously, I'm Chrissy Coronavirus, and this is Hyenas Pandemic Pappas. So we know what's going on here. So what can you tell our fans, things that they may not know to stay safe, or what you've been seeing behind, enemy lines with this Asian disease that's ravaging everybody?
Yeah, the little pipsqueak that Giannis calls it. Yeah,
little fucking squeak.
Little pipsqueak. What can we do besides throwing little Dr. Fauci's at it? What else can we do?
Dr. Fauci's the best, but honestly, the social the distancing has worked, and we got to keep at it though, and because we've kind of followed the same path that Cuomo was talking about, and we just really have to stay disciplined. Because I know it may seem like an overreaction, and we hear like good news from the media that it's getting better and the hospitals aren't as overwhelmed. This is going to be like a 2, 3, 4 month battle on our end. Hopefully life will get back sooner or later, but we just got to stay disciplined. That's like really, really, really important. I know everybody's antsy inside, but the social distancing is really the best thing you could do.
Now, is there anything like if you guys would have known about this, because there's a lot of talk now as things come out, like if we would have known about this 2 months ago, if we would have shut down the country 2 months ago versus now, or people saying this was just the flu versus what it is now. What do you have to say about that, being someone who's really seeing what's going on?
I mean, hindsight is 20/20, and it could have been a little bit better if stuff started in February. But at the time, it would have seemed like an overreaction. But we didn't know. We just didn't have the information. So it's difficult to look back on it. I think the response has been pretty swift, starting like mid-March, and it's really working. So yeah, maybe if we had a crystal ball, that's fine. But we really didn't have any information, and and we're still like learning about it. Like I'm learning stuff. I'm learning more about it through like Twitter and like following like big ER doctors, ICU doctors on Twitter, just sharing information that way, and that's actually probably saved more lives than any like publication that's come out. So it's just so much was unknown. It's crazy.
Yeah.
What makes this virus different from the previous viruses where we didn't have to go into a nationwide or global lockdown? Why has this virus caused a global lockdown?
So if you get it, you have a high likelihood that you're going to infect 3 other people, and then those 3 other people can affect 3 other people. That's like 9 people, and it's just exponential. And so it's super infectious that way, more infectious than the flu a little bit. But what the biggest thing is these people get sick in a different way, and their lungs just get jacked up, and everybody responds differently to it. So not only is it like a new way that the lungs respond, but it's different with each individual person. I had it like 3 weeks ago, and I had allergy symptoms, and I had nothing. But again, Mitch his lungs were super inflamed, super fucked up, and he needed extra oxygen, needs to be hospitalized. And when that happens, it lasts for like 2 weeks. So that's how it overwhelms the system. Because then you get in the hospital, and then you have to, instead of a flu is like, if you get sick with the flu, it's probably 3 or 4 days, maybe a week. This is up to 2 weeks. So 2 weeks, 7 days on a ventilator. That holds up a whole hospital room, resources, and then the people, because it becomes so infectious, more people come in. So
now,
go.
Obviously, you're obviously ER doctor. A lot of our fans from all over the country, all over the world. You're an ER doctor in Brooklyn, so the epicenter in the whole world of it. Have you seen a decline in the ER? Are things as bad as they were 2 weeks ago, or do you feel like they're somewhat improving?
It's stabilized. It's been the same. We're also, I think in the beginning, it was such a shock to us too, because it's such a different disease that I think also we adjusted to it a little bit, So it may be that the numbers are stabilized, maybe a little decrease, but all the people that we saw downstairs are now upstairs in the ICUs. So that's why the hospital is still not like recovered. And those are people who are like really underappreciated, the ICU doctors, nurses. We've been getting a lot of like, we get lunch delivered to us every day and a lot of notoriety, which is great. But the people who are dealing with this day in, day out with patients for like 2 weeks at a time are still in the thick of it. So that's why it's going to take longer than even, we anticipate. But it's gotten a little bit better, but it could be also that we're getting used to the new medicine, basically, because this is brand new medicine.
Yeah. Do you think that in your opinion, has there been, now I know there's no cure all, but has there been one treatment that you've went to the most that you've seen work the most, even though it doesn't work every time?
You know, the medicines that we give in the ED really, they're like day one of whatever, 7-day treatment, just the Plaquenil, the anti-lupus drug, anti-malaria drug that everyone talks about. Again, the studies don't show that they really help. The biggest thing for me that's been a grind and such a change is who to put on a ventilator. And that's like a wild decision, because that used to be something that was kind of instinctual and easy. But with this, it's so different. And people are walking around with oxygen levels in like the 80s, 70s. And doctors have to be more comfortable with that, because most of these people kind of like recover, which is wild. Because usually these people are intubated in a second. And that's what happened like a month ago, because we didn't know about it. That's what happened in Italy. People just got intubated right away and overwhelmed the system, and people don't do well on the ventilator either. So it's that's been the biggest adjustment, is knowing what we're doing. Actually, for some people who are like in the 80s, is we like, instead of laying flat in bed, we have them turn over. It's called proning. So they're like laying flat in bed. So this is somebody who's suffocating, and then they have me, who's like a guy they just met 5 minutes ago. Like, all right, well, I'm not going to give you medicine or anything. Just just with the oxygen mask, just really just sit on your face right into the pillow. And I'll come back in 5 minutes. But that's actually been beneficial, and it's preventing intubations. But it works for some, doesn't work for others, because it's just so fucking variable. It's so hard.
Now, why do you think it affects people so differently? Is it the viral load or strand, or they don't know?
We don't know. I mean, we really don't know. I think there has to be a genetic type of thing to this. And this is me hypothesizing. There is some evidence that does affect the blood. And affects certain blood types more than others. So it does kind of point to that. But that's just me completely just guessing. I think there's got to be something in your genes where it just it affects your body differently and more severe. But hopefully in a few months we'll have a better idea of it. But it's really, we don't know. It's just so variable and tricky.
What do you think the quickest there could be a vaccine or a cure is? If you had to guess, I know it's all guessing.
It's probably like a year. Usually that's what it takes, because you got to make sure, you got to come up with the vaccine. You got to make sure it affects the appropriate strands, and you got to test it. Everything's got to get tested. So that's why it's like it's so hard, because all these things take time, and we need answers, a month ago.
I'm a pro at getting tested.
I would say hopefully a year, but it's hard. It's hard.
Yeah.
Now, when you guys were playing basketball together, did Chrissy ever tuck back in the locker room, or was that just something he started doing in his 30s?
Oh, he tucked back since he was 18. The praying mantis was his favorite move, so it would be a tuck back, and then the arms would go.
And the arms out. The praying mantis with my dick tucked back. There's that picture of me and our friend.
Wig.
And with the wig on and the praying mantis. Do you remember? It's when we got knocked out of knocked out of like the national tournament, and within 5 minutes I had my dick tucked back with my arms out doing the praying mantis.
Yeah, I'm crying because my season was over. I'm a loser, and this kid just praying mantising in the locker room. Yep.
Yeah.
Well, I know he was the star player on the team, so he didn't get taken out much. But did he get his rests on defense?
Oh, he got a ton of rest on defense.
Yeah, I was the star player on the team, but 3 kids on my team were handicapped, so it's just doesn't matter. I mean, I was playing wheelchair basketball with 2 legs.
Now, do you think? I know you're a doctor, so it's really like I don't know. Even if you're comfortable answering the question, but just to get your opinion, just throwing it out there, do you think the response has been appropriate, like a shutdown, like? Do you think this is what we need to do to control it?
Yeah. Cuomo's particularly. I know he's a piece, but
he's a fucking piece. That kid.
Yeah, he's the best.
I believe his nipples are pierced, and that's why I'll vote for him.
Oh yeah, I saw that picture a few weeks ago. But I think he's done a really, really good job, and he's very, very cautious in the information he relays to the public. But most of it, you could tell, is medically based. He's just listening to the experts. He's not just making shit up or like reading an article and just saying it. So he's very calculated in his response, and I have felt comfortable with what he's been doing. And on the front lines, it's been working. It's like because 2 weeks ago, it was truly, truly wild. And now it's thankfully stabilized. But just like China, if you open up too early, then we get back to square one, and then we're just going to delay things from really fully opening back up again. I think it's been as best as they could.
Do you think, as a doctor, not that it was anybody's fault, but in the beginning, do you think now, a month, 2 months into this, you know how to fight it better, and somebody who may have died 3 weeks ago because of the treatment course that you guys didn't know won't die today? Do you think that's happening more and more?
Hard to say, because everything is so individual and the way like presents. But I mean, yeah, we're learning more and more about it, so we're more and more comfortable with it. Taking, what was riskier 3 weeks ago is kind of common practice now. So, I mean, riskier like keeping people off vents right now. That's the risky part. Like not intubating now, and hopefully they turn it around. So yeah, I mean, the treatment has changed, and it's throughout. We're learning from Italy. Italy's sharing a lot of information. Europe's sharing a lot of information. And now New York is going to be the one sharing with everybody else, because the rest of the states are like behind.
Do you feel like you have a higher chance of getting sick and dying from this disease if you're a Democrat?
That's a good question. That's the hard hitting one. That's really what we want to get to the bottom of.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they're probably more woke, so they're probably wearing masks and gloves. So
gloving up.
Probably not. But again, I'll look into it.
Actually, let me ask you this seriously, because I know that the media reports on things, and I'm aware that it can happen to anyone and affect anyone. But the people in your ER, have you seen majority of the people getting? I know there's always outliers, but majority of the people getting really sick and unfortunately dying are older with health conditions and all that, or do you really see sometimes very young, in shape, healthy people come in and they have a really negative outcome with this, or is that more rare?
The numbers don't lie. It's mostly older and sicker patients, but it's not like there is a high number, not percentage, but high number of people who are pretty young and healthy and slightly overweight. Like BMIs is one of the BMI over 40 is like one of the biggest risk factors now, more than age. So obesity and overweight patients are high risk. So I'm seeing it pretty much the whole gamut, but
so that's again, different than the flu. And you don't ever really find a young, healthy person come in and die of the flu. That's very rare.
It happens. It's rare, but that happens as well. Those are tragic cases.
It's not as rare. But I'm saying COVID-19. It's like the flu. COVID-19 and that aren't matched up, like in the sense of rare deaths happening with young people.
That's because the numbers are so high in such a short amount of time. So you got to look at percentages and everything. So it's really it's a statistical question that's probably hard to answer, but no, it's all over the place. There are young people. You got to protect yourselves. I have seen, younger people get sick. Thankfully, I haven't had a poor outcome yet, but I've heard of from other doctors who are working.
Obviously, I'm asking this question for someone else in general. If I don't shake hands or do anything like that, stay 6 feet away, but I give a blowjob. Not me, but if someone gives a blowjob, hands behind the back, can they contract disease, or there's no evidence of that?
I think you're good. No, didn't New York City come out with like a guideline a couple weeks ago? Department of Health.
It didn't say anything about blowjobs. It talked about rim jobs. That's why I'm asking specifically.
I think if you're doing handies, you got to wash your hands before and after, right?
And maybe even during. Maybe even during, just to make sure.
Yeah. Okay. Yep. No, go ahead. You have one more, because we got to let him go soon. He's got to get back to the front lines.
Bro, have we had a Wei Jiangxi yet? I guess the Democrat one was Wei Jiangxi.
Yeah,
we don't have the button, so we don't have the button.
Shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. Chrissy will let one fly in a second.
Yeah.
But what I'm very curious to know, and I think probably a lot of listeners are curious to know, is like, how exactly do you catch this? What are the real things? Because there's so much information. It's kind of confusing. Like, how is this transmitted?
So I have it. I touch my mouth. I touch a chair. You touch that chair. And within a certain amount of hours, it could be on your hand. And then you touch your face, mouth. And that's how you get it. It's droplet and contact precaution. So it comes from saliva or mucous membranes. So like eyes, mouth, and you can get it. So if you cough, that's in the air or sneeze, that's in the air for X amount of time, and you walk past that air, that's it. It can get into your mouth, into your nose, and that's how you get it. So that's why they're recommending wearing masks. So the masks are really to protect others, not really yourself. Because if everyone's wearing a mask and everyone's coughing, it's keeping the particles nice and close. So it's droplet in contact. There was some talk that it was airborne, like tuberculosis, that would be like the particles are smaller and they stick around in the air longer. But that has been pulled back by like CDC and Department and World Health Organization. But yeah, it's really just touching something. So that's why you got to wash your hands constantly. Don't touch anything that like high touch places when you're out. It's going to be a wild world. Everyone's going to be, wearing gloves and not touching doorknobs. And that's kind of the way you have to act if you do go out, if you must go out. So it's really, that's the way. Because it stays on clothes for, I think 6 hours and some surfaces up to 12 hours. So, it's, you don't know what the surface that you touched, who's touched before. So that's why stay inside and practice good hand hygiene.
So is this generally much more contagious than the flu?
Yes.
Yeah. And you had it. And then it's different because you had it and then your wife had it, but you were sicker for longer.
Thankfully, yeah, I had milder symptoms for a long time, like 14.
Let me tell you right now, I mean, the kid survived the concentration camp. He's not going to get taken down by COVID-19.
No chance.
No chance. I mean, he lived 4 years in Dachau. He walked out, no problem. Yeah. You think the fucking Nazis, virus from the Orient is going to take this kid down?
Yeah, no chance.
Because if fucking Heinrich Himmler and Adolf Hitler couldn't kill that face, neither could a fucking bat from Wuhan.
Here's your Georgian.
There it is. All right, cuz before we go, the people just want to know, are you circumcised?
18.
18. Can I tell the story when you just showed up one day on crutches? This kid just showed up one day on crutches, and he was telling everyone he broke his ankle, and then he eats really because he got his beef snipped for his girlfriend at the time because she said she wanted a kid with a fresh cut of beef, and then she dumped him a month later, and the kid got his beef snipped.
Character piece. Say something.
Show your beef. All right. Sign out, Lukey. I love you, bro.
Love you.
Lucas, thank you for your service, man. We love what you're doing. Thank you for protecting us, man, and treating everybody seriously.
Keep people laughing, fellas.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
If you want to see Lukasz, go find him in any museum.
That was great. Lukasz, he's the head emergency room doctor at Methodist Hospital in Park Slope. And after they found out he was just in this podcast, well, let's hope he's still employed after that.
Fingers crossed. Yeah, and I think it was it was fun interviewing. See, because sometimes the facts of this are a little bit of a snoozer. But that's why Lukasz is great because he's young like us, and he's like just trying to.
The thing about you, cuz, is you're always worried about it being a snoozer. But if Chrissy D's in the room, it's not going to be a snoozer.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, we're doing a podcast from a 4-year-old's bedroom, so it's what it is.
I mean, there's never, if you're in the room, cuz, I mean, it's just, you bring an energy that people, there's no snooze. Every time you ask us if it was a snoozer, it's never a snoozer.
It's never a snoozer. And I'm sorry, Veneti, did you want to ask Luke any doctor questions? I'm sorry.
No, you guys asked all the questions I was wondering. That was
great. She only had one question, and I'll answer it for you, Venetia. No, he's married. He's not available, and no, he's not Greek.
Yes.
It was confirmed. Okay.
So, I mean, I feel like Venetia is one of those Greeks who's like, she wants to know, is he Greek? Is he married? And because she's getting to that point right now where her family's about to throw her out of a window if she doesn't find a Greek man soon.
Yeah, well, she doesn't want to tell the truth. Her family really moved away. It was before the coronavirus because she's not married yet, and they're like, we can't be near this woman unless she has a husband.
Yeah, I mean, they're probably gonna start trying to figure out arranged marriages for her soon.
Yeah, it's what it is, cuz. All right, so I'm happy that we started that out with the little Lukey Tuesdays. That kid's my fucking best friend. I mean, he's the BABI's godfather. So he's great.
I forgot to ask him, like, you think it's okay for me to hang out with Verzi now? Because I've been hanging out with him. I tied one on with him the other day. We went and just took a hike, and I smoked the puff with him. He didn't smoke.
Did you pass the cigar back and forth?
No, I had the cigar. But, I mean, he had it like a month ago now, right? So it's like, it's done, right?
I mean, we could have asked him, but I think that you're probably okay even if he had it active as long as you're, I would stay, 10 feet away because I think that the only thing that from the news, what the news says, but again, we can always verify with Lukey, is that they're not sure how long it stays in your system and if it goes completely out of your system or if it just kind of dies and then can be reactivated 10 years from now out of nowhere like other viruses. They're not sure because it's so new. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you know what? I don't even really blame a lot of the people who are saying wild things and have conspiracy theories and are thinking that this lockdown is un-American and all that. I mean, ignorance is a disease in and of itself. And I don't blame them because, we're just fortunate enough to know a few people who are on the front lines of this so that we can ask directly who have firsthand experience and are battling this firsthand. So me and Chris just happen to know exactly what's going on because, like you just witnessed, Lukasz is an emergency room doctor. He's the head emergency room doctor, and he's dealing with this. So the things he's saying are apolitical. He's just giving you the facts of what's going on, and he's saying, yes, this is what we need to do to battle this because he's battling it. So there you just heard it from the horse's mouth. I hope this helps a lot of people out there who have questions about what's going on. You heard it from him himself. This is the appropriate measures we need to take to control this thing right now.
And he did say the other day, about like New York, like it's social distance guidelines everywhere. You have to pay attention, take this seriously everywhere. But New York really is the place. New York City is really the place that's getting like so destroyed. So there needs to be I know like every government in every state is like, oh, but Wyoming, we need PPE too. It's like you do and you don't. It's like right now it's kind of just about New York City, like where it's like I think we got over 50% of all the cases are in this city. So it's a little bit like the hysteria by the media that this is a whole national crisis. It is, but it's also like it's really New York's problem. The biggest problem is New York. Like if New York didn't have this, if we weren't set up this way, we'd have almost no cases. I mean, there's virtually no cases outside of New York. Oh, there are, but there's such a small percentage of it.
Yeah, but the problem is if you just let people keep moving around and traveling and shit like that, it'll spread everywhere.
Yeah, no, I'm not talking about the economy. I'm talking about like all like I don't understand why, Iowa would need any extra amount of personal protective equipment or ventilators right now. I don't know why they would need any. Like Send them all to New York, send all your nurses and doctors and beds to New York until it's your problem. Because right now it's not their problem. You know what I mean? Right.
My cousins just told me, my first cousins, they told me they both have it and they're recovering and they both tested positive for it. So this thing,
how'd they get it?
I don't know, man. They travel in New York. They live in New York. I don't know. I didn't get into that.
Did you guys ever fuck the same goat?
Yes, but I haven't seen any literature on that to if that's contagious. But
because Greece does have a very low incidence of Corona-19. So maybe there might be something that protects you. If you fuck a goat, you might be immune to this.
Well, if you listen to Mr. Panos, he just says, you can't get to the Greeks because Chinese, like the Greeks are just, you can't stop the Greeks. We're like cockroaches. You could try to kill us, but we'll stick around.
Yeah, stick around.
Yeah, I think what happened, the Greeks responded really early. They actually, I think that they're getting credit for just like really shutting things down earlier than Italy, and everyone's kind of sticking to it. And here's the thing. Here's a funny joke I'm about to make.
Let's do it.
If you tell the Greeks to stay home and not work, you don't have to really repeat it twice.
Yeah.
It's going to be an easy task. If you say, hey, Greece, this is what we need you to do. Not go to work. And just chill at home with your family. They're going like, thank you. Yeah. We're gonna do that, and we're very good at that.
Yeah, I mean, because we've been in quarantine for about 5 weeks now, and other than Wepa in the morning, this might be the first regular episode podcast you've done sitting up. Every single other one you've done, you've been laying on your bed with your belly sticking out, because that's just what Greeks do.
Yeah, if there's one thing Greeks are good at, it's social distancing from other people, being with their family, and not going to work.
It's what it is. Now, cuz, is your baby, your baby's going to be born Spartan, so what Spartan tests will that baby have to pass, or else it gets discarded, right? What's the rules?
Yeah, if we find out if it's girl, if we find out if it's a girl, I'm going to, obviously I'm going to let the baby be born because it's ceremonial to throw it off a cliff. So, it's got to be a boy. That's just Spartan tradition. I mean, the girls, we just throw them back. It's just
throw them right back.
Return to sender. God puts it out, and we throw it right back to God.
Now, cuz, if the baby is a boy, you're going to circumcise its piece? Because there's a lot of debate now about circumcision and if it's right or not. But is that kid going to get a fresh cut of beef, or is he going to stay wrapped up his whole life?
Well, no. I'm going to immediately have him I want my kid to be trans, so Thomas Dale's prophecies will come true. So what we're going to do is we're going to tuck him back immediately. If it comes out of penis, we're going to push that thing right back in. If it's an outie, we're going to push it right back into an innie.
It's what it is.
Yeah, that's what we're going to do. We're going to make him trans at the beginning because that's what the kid wants.
Yeah, it's what he wants. Yeah. Well, it's interesting because right now, as the baby's developing in your wife's body, I think it might have both chromosomes. I don't know when the gender actually happens. So all babies are trans for the first trimester. So that should be comforting you that technically right now your baby is trans.
Look, here's the thing, kids. Trans people have always been around. They've always existed. What didn't exist is like the hormone therapy that and the sex change operations that a lot of people do. But I mean, yeah, like the fact that people are born with male genitalia that ends up being male genitalia, but they have like female brains and those chemicals and more estrogen, that stuff all makes sense. It all makes sense once you start learning about what's going on in the womb, because, yeah, that's what me and my wife are doing right now. And what Chris said is it's actually wild that the clit either grows into a penis or it stays a clit and the testes descend, like the things that make the balls come from the ovaries drop down and become balls. So there's a thin line between male and female. And of course, most of us end up going to the right or left, just like we do politically. But make no mistake, some of us are moderate. And those moderates are trans.
Trans. We're on the right. Did I ever tell you the story?
It's just something that people are just going to have to get used to. It's just, they're not going anywhere. Just fucking accept it. Like, I don't think people should be fucking taking hormone blockers at age 6 or whatever, but you know what? It's your fucking kid. If you want to give him fucking hormone blockers, do what you got to do. It's your fucking kid, your property. I don't give a shit.
Do what it is. Because did I ever tell you about the time when I was a pediatric therapist and I saw I was a pediatric PT, but the patient was an adult, and because it was like all in the same hospital, and I saw a patient who was a hermaphrodite. Did I ever tell you about that?
Yes, you did. Well, tell the people again because it's interesting. Because I think a lot of people don't even know that exists.
Yeah. I mean, first of all, this guy was, I mean, you want to talk about being dealt a hand? I mean, this kid was dealt a hand. This guy was dealt a fucking hand. I mean, first of all, he was a torso, so he was just born with no arms, no legs. Then he was born blind, and he was a hermaphrodite. So it's just like at every cost that God was just like, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you.
And what's a hermaphrodite for the people who are Franks and Beans?
A hermaphrodite is a person who's born with both the penis and the vagina. So in that period that Hyenas was talking about when, the testes descend and either becomes a clit or a penis, he just stayed with both sexual organs. One will always be be primary, but the other one existed. And then a lot of times because of those chemical hormonal imbalances amongst hermaphrodites, there's other issues. So this guy, his whole embryonic development, his legs and arms never grew, and his sight never grew. So he was blind, had no arms, no legs, and he had a penis and a vagina. And it was one of those things where, you just looked and he was just like, but he could talk, which was wild. I mean, he could talk and he was like just a pretty funny, he had like some mental disabilities, but he was like relatively funny. He just kept saying that he had both. And I was just like, it's just, it's kind of like when I think about some of those patients that I had, it's like, people want to bitch about any little thing. I'm fat. I can't go out. I'm in quarantine. It's like this guy literally had both he had a piece and a puss, no arms, no legs, and couldn't see, but yet was still just having a good time. I mean, I literally could have killed that guy if I just rolled him on his stomach. He could do nothing. That's it. He'd just be over if I just fucking tipped him over, and he would have nothing to do,
Yeah, I mean, what happens is we're all basically like hermaphrodites at the beginning, and then it's the hormone pumps. It's like you get one more, right? It's just more hormones are what make you male or female, right?
Hormones are what make you male or female. Yeah, it's just what it is. And that's why, I think that's why on this podcast, we've said it so many times, we just have a little bit more estrogen than most men. We still are men, but I think we just had a little bit more estrogen because both our fathers are gay.
Right. So that's part of it. And it's also just like people have a really hard time accepting gray zones. They have a really hard time, and that doesn't go for the people who reject it too. It's also the people who, on the other side, push too hard and try to make the gray zone the norm. It's like, no, the gray zone's still the gray zone. It's still exceptions. It's not the rule. But people have a really hard time like accepting both and letting both coexist. You know, they want things to be either this way or that way. Just, it seems like I don't know what the evolutionary reason for that is. There must be one, or maybe people are just fucking stupid.
Because life, this planet is bisexual. It goes both ways. You're going to have to accept that. There's no right or wrong for most things. Most people can find a reason to believe this or that. So, you know, it's just life's bisexual. And I've been embracing that, and it feels real good to embrace that.
Yeah, I mean, you should embrace it. It's like, it's a wild thing because every straight woman, you know, masturbates to lesbian porn. So there is sort of, everyone's got a little gradation. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
Everyone's got a little. Like, I'm not into dudes. I'm just not into dudes. But, you know, I mean, if you can fool me, you can fool me, you know?
Now, cuz, are we going to talk about Florence Nightingale? Because the last time we tried to do this episode, we got into a fist fight. But now we know the reason why we got into a fight is because you were hiding the fact that you were a father.
No, yeah, babe, I don't remember. But here's the thing: was
it Florence Nightingale, Venetia? Was that the episode that we got into the argument at?
Yeah, it was also interrupted at the.
So how much of it actually went out to the people?
A lot of it went out to our Patreon members, but we didn't really get into it that much to all of your fans. So this is basically for all of them. So yeah.
What I like about the way Chrissy, I think Chrissy, much like his mom, they very much in check, very loving, everything. But just once in a while, he just explodes.
It's what it is.
You just, once in a while, you just have had enough and you just explode, but then you return right back. Then you grab your rosemary beads and you get right back to being a good Catholic and you hold it back in. But once in a while, Mount Eruptus, Catholics just need to explode once in a while. Just like most people need to come once in a while, Catholics just need to get the hate out once in a while.
Yeah, get the hate out once in a while. And yeah, by the way, to some of the people who message me about they're also victims of sex crimes, just keep in mind I'm on a podcast and I'm being entertaining. So I'm not a lawyer. I don't work for the FBI. So please stop messaging me your sex crime stories. Just go to the authorities because I keep getting messages about, oh, I was molested by a priest too, and I got held down and skull fucked too. I'm like, yeah, that may or may not be true. I'm Chrissy fucking white lies. So just stop messaging me.
Yeah, you just have to assume when you're dealing with Chrissy that it may or may not be true. It's a web of lies and truth mixed together. The kid does not obey by the same rules that most people do when it comes to reality. He lives in a fantasy land. He was an only child and his imagination was running wild and he just went with that.
Went with it.
He didn't turn it off. When you stopped playing with Barbie dolls and became a boy and made choices, he did it. He just said, I'm going to be what I want to be on whatever day it is.
And that's just what it's going to be. Now, cuz, listen, just real quickly. So a lot of Florence Nightingale, we did the first.
Here's the thing, though. We can't do Florence Nightingale. We can't do Florence Nightingale. We can't go from fucking Lukasz and Corona and then do 10 minutes on Florence Nightingale, especially since I prepared for the Aztecs. I mean, we're freaking beans.
All right, so let's just read the Patreon names. We got a lot of them.
How long have we been done already? How long have we done?
50 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, we can't do 10 minutes of fucking Florence Nightingale right now.
Well, let me just real quick. Florence Nightingale, she was fucking kind of a piece. She basically invented, being a modern nurse. She contracted the bacterial infection brucellosis, also known as Crimean fever. And throughout the Civil War, she was frequently consulted about to manage the best field hospitals and whatever other fucking snooze fest facts we had. Whatever other snooze fest facts fucking Benetia pulled up. But yeah, she wears that corset thing on her head. If you colorize her photo, she's probably just a little bit of a piece. Her nickname was Lady with the Lamp. And yeah, she basically is credited for founding modern nursing. So give her a round of applause. So if she was still alive today, we'd give her a fucking round of applause and I'd send her free lunch for getting out there and braving the front lines. And if she was on the front lines today, she'd probably bang out a doctor behind her husband's back like they all do.
She's known for really making sure that the standards of cleanliness are up to par. That's really what it was, that she was the one who set the standards because all the hospitals before were dirty and people weren't practicing good hygiene. So
there you go. So she would be a big advocate for wearing masks and gloves out in public.
So there's your.
Yeah. I mean, I'm really interested in her. I'd love to talk about her more. But you know what? Maybe we should. It's a tradition on the History of Hyenas. Whenever we got a woman, we just do 3 to 5 minutes.
We do 3 to 5 minutes, and we just let Venetia talk about it, and then we just we search our Instagrams. We go look through our DMs.
Yeah, I mean, this was such a good. Here, Lukasz.
Well, can you send the Patreon names, Bubbies? Can you guys let's at least knock some of them off because
I'll get that sent to you.
Mike, what the hell? What are you fucking playing video games? I mean, that kid's on his freaking gamer mic.
Oh no, I got too close to the mic right there. I'm sorry.
Yeah, because you make no mistake, he probably fell asleep again.
Mikey, how you doing down in San Antonio? You miss New York? Are you yelling at your wife, or is everything cool?
No, we're cool. Yeah, I do miss New York though.
Yeah.
Let
me see
your
that
eye looks better.
Take a peek. Yeah, you can't really tell. I mean, it looks pretty good. You know, you look. I actually
put ice on it while we were recording right there. So,
how's Bobby doing? Is he over us leaving or what?
He hasn't mentioned it since last week, since you were on the podcast.
So he's doing okay, right?
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah.
All right, yeah. So we'll read the Patreon names. By the way, go to patreon.com/Bay Ridge Boys. Become part of the matriarchy. We've been doing a show every morning at 9 a.m. Eastern Time, our weekly morning show called Wepa in the Morning. It's great. You get all the news of the day that you'll need. It's just an alternative to morning shows. It's only on Patreon. You can get it even at the $5 level, our lowest level, patreon.com/Bay Ridge Boys. So go check that out.
Guys, it's a daily live show, 9 a.m. Eastern, every day, only on patreon.com/Bay Ridge Boys. So if you want to watch it live, we got no nets, no Yanni nets, no Chrissy nets. We just go wild. It's the wildest morning show. We're enjoying doing it. Join patreon.com/Bay Ridge Boys to be able to access it.
Yeah, today. Okay, real quick. So Yanni, Miss Pops is pregnant. She wanted a French dip sandwich, and you got it for her, or could you not find it?
No, I could not find it, so I went and I just got her a gyro, plain gyro, and that did the trick. But yeah,
or you're gonna have to start feeding her Chinese people because
She actually wants Chinese food right now. She keeps asking for Chinese food, so I got
wow. Cuz that baby? What if the baby's a fucking Democrat? Because I feel like only a Democrat would eat Chinese food right now.
Yeah, I mean you make really good points, and our worst fears lay in anticipation. I mean, I'm not going to think about it now, but yeah, once in a while it does frighten me. Yeah,
because the worst nightmare for you is if your baby's a Nate Bargatze fan.
Yeah. Yeah, it's what it is. Let's read some Patreon names.
Cuz it's going to be great because you're a father and a grandpa at the same time. I mean, cuz you're 87 years old, and it's just going to be,
Yeah, I mean, he's going to get to know me for a few years, and then he's on his own.
Cuz it's going to be when in kindergarten when it's because it's usually back to back. It's take your parents a day and then take your grandparents to school day, and you're just going to go back. You're going to go for both.
Yeah, I'll go for both of those days. And listen, if you want to be the godmother, I'm gonna have a godmother off where I'm gonna have to make you prove it in a dance contest.
Yeah.
I mean, we're back. Welcome back. Chrissy went wild. Lukasz,
it's just what it is.
Yeah, I mean, it's just we're back right now, all cackled, and
we're back.
And we're back. So let's read some Patreon names.
Yeah. Okay. By the way, Mikey, did you send them?
Yeah.
Okay. No, you send me anime porn. Where did you send them?
I sent you both. I sent them to your email.
Oh, to the email? Okay.
Remember the Patreon email.
Okay. Remember, patreon.com/Bay Ridge Boys. When you join our Patreon, we will read your name out. We've been getting so many new Patreon members. Thank you guys so much. So there are a lot of them. So we're going to get through as many as we can. We always encourage you guys to make a funny name that makes us laugh. We will pick a PPW, a pseudo penis of the week, and we'll tweet out whoever wins that or say it here on the show. So we always encourage funny names. If you don't want to make a name, you can just read your name, regular name, and we'll just say you're going straight to the back, meaning you're here for the content, and that's okay too. So let's see what we got. Okay, you ready, Yanni?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, starting off, Ryan Lucas, Lindsay Carson, Mini Horse, One Shot, Supercalifragilistic, XB Allen, No Fumes Brian.
That was a good, unique one. Put him on the list.
He's on the list. Colton Warren, Jason Goodman, Coronado _II, Chris Mullins, Steel Pipe Peace, Nick Rupert, Chad Gemcow, Alex Bomarito, Leon Garani. Then we got Jordan sliding into Peach Mommy's inbox. Oops, never mind. Trump 2020 Parish. 10. By the way,
whenever you got a Leon, that's definitely a black kid.
It's a black kid. And by the way, that's a callback to something we do on Wepa in the morning. Every day we do a thirst trap of the day. So that's a little callback for that. Sam Fleming. Then we got Marquise, full mean. So I know Venetia's father will never accept me. Love it.
That's original, but I'm going to give him a Drexler, but that was a nice swing.
Nice, Marquise. Tyler Durden, Curie de Vias, RG, Steven, want to find Giannis's butt, bullet hole, and give it chlamydia. I'm not gay. Go Yankees, Monroe.
Now, here's the deal with that. That's what you call a home run fucking swing. Because what he's trying to say is he wants to find the bullet hole, stick his dick, and give it chlamydia. He went for it. Oh, I'm going to say Clyde Drexler, but I mean, that was a fucking original attempt.
It was original attempt, yeah. And because we stopped saying to give us funny names or because we haven't mentioned it so much, some of these people don't know. So anyone who hears their name, who hears this episode and wants to edit their name and make a funny name like some of these other people are doing, more than happy to do it because we used to say it every episode and we haven't. So remember, if you go to patreon.com/BayRidgeBoys, make your name funny and creative and we'll go wild and you could be the PPW. Okay, but that's fine.
Do me one favor. Yeah, do me one favor. Can you just repeat? I just want to make sure he wasn't the victim of a bad read because, I mean, that kid was very original. Can we do it one more time?
Steven, want to find Giannis's butt bullet hole and give it chlamydia. I'm not gay. Go Yankees, Monroe.
Now, Clyde Drexler, but what a fucking original attempt.
Then we got Patrick O'Grady, BKT, a.k.a. Big Chrissy Titties. Goody. Chris Clemens. Then we got no problem with the China. Gotta love me, that sideways China vagina.
I think he deserves to be on the list.
He deserves to be on the list, but legally we probably can't repeat that, so it's just what it is.
Yeah, so, yeah.
Lemmy Luhu. Then we got Mike Hawks, rough name. Okay. Scott Coyle, Jeffrey Sherrill, Brandon. Then we got Caleb. My glue gun's getting hard to find because I'm a certified FF Willet. Then we got not gay, but Chrissy makes me go pewing. Okay. Then we got Caroline Poole. Caroline Poole. I'm sorry. Milkin the Milkman. Nice. Karen left me and took the kids. Please take me back, Karen. Goody. That's a goody. Let's put him on the list because he's going through some stuff.
Let's put him on.
John, make no mistake, it's what it is. The situation loves to moan and piss. Joyce. Okay. Omar.
Right, okay, whatever. That just cracked my wife.
Cracked your wife, yeah.
She laughed hard, yeah.
Yeah,
what was that again? Can you read it again?
Okay, but I'll read it in a low voice.
Yeah.
John, make no mistake, it's what it is. The situation loves to moan and piss. Joyce. That's the name.
Let's just give him a good honorable mention. We can't put him on the list for legal reasons.
And it can't be on the list legal reasons, just like the other one. Okay, Omar, Jay Cruz. Then we got Mike T. Mussolini, Margiota. Okay. Yeah, I mean, again, good name, but we just can't honor a dictator. Jason Bates. Then we got Nick Fapiano. Then we got James yanking my pseudo calzone Scott. Then we got Gigi Manapant, Daniel Marth, Logan Knight, Sophia, Jamie, Quarantine Cosette Racal, James Day, Cutie with the smoothie and a big old ghetto booty. Okay.
How come nobody's gotten that one yet?
We had a few of those.
We have had a few of those?
Yeah, Cutie with the smoothie with a big booty. There's been a few of those.
All right.
Then we got just Sauce Monkey, Dylan, Preston Holder, Hot Sauce Jimbo trying to fuck a bimbo. Okay.
Put him on the list.
He's on the list?
Yeah.
Then we got Brakeno Lika, Belushi, Mackenzie Gill, Dan Barnhill. Then we got Casey, the Situation Anthony. Put that on the list.
Imagine if we got Casey Anthony.
Yeah.
That'd be fucking wild.
That'd be wild. Then we got Jackie Boy, Drip Dick, COVID-14 is the flu, Latin 19.
Throw him on the list and into first place.
Yeah, I like it. He's on the list for first place. Then we got Pretty Wuhan walking down the Trump 2020. Okay. Then we got Isolation got me horned up like Chrissy Chlamydia on vodka soda and Claritin D. Okay. Then we got looking into trying that puss to prove to my dad I'm not a wuss.
You know where that's going. Mike,
that's on the list.
Yeah, catapult him right onto the list.
He's on the list. Then we got JP. Then we got Jake, spread my legs, tuck me back, and crack me open, Klein.
Good.
Then we got Gavin. Then we got Jimmy C, the quarantine cuz with fumes in my fuzz.
Catapult him onto the list.
He's on the list. Then we got Tanner Alem. Then we got Chrissy Mofongo, Dia my cuchi fritos, I'm gay now.
Drexler, good one.
Drexler by the 10. Then we got Alex, my phalanx tingles when I hear cooped up Chrissy's COVID commentary. Thank you.
Drexler.
Then we got Jake Howard. Chris Cuzzy Wuzzy was a bear, but I'm more of an otter. Actually not gay, though. God bless Mac. On the list?
He's going to Drexler, but he's the top Drexler.
Okay, then we got William straight to the back, Blackburn. Then we got Ice Cold Beer here. Nice.
Good one. Drexler.
James Kelly. Then we got Andrew Potato Monkey Stevenson.
Anytime Potato Monkey comes up, it's funny, but Drexler.
Okay, then we got Elizabeth Lee, Michael Suit, Ari Levine, Stephen Garrow, Danielle Marr, Stana Vasilik, Nick Vogel, Wayne Koenig, Jamie Tomlinson, Padraig O'Connor, Kevin Curran, pronounced Karen, not Curran, because I'm a German. Okay. Hold on. Oh, something happened to the list here. Okay.
What am I going to do about my fucking hair? I mean, should I just shave it off?
Should you shave it off? Why not? Shave it. Go full Hasidic Jewish woman. Shave it. Then we got Bruce Dietrich, Gills, Gigi's, Hyenas, Alyssa, Alec AU, Christopher, Kristoof, Christopher spelled with a K, basically. Keith Kofferode, Jason, Mateo Vargas, Akash Singh's Halal Cart, Jacob,
so funny.
Jacob Ballinger, yeah, Ashley, Chrissy DeRote, Master General, Sean Soderblom, Marie straight to the back, DeCola, Alex Shea, my body is 70% water, and Father Bill's thirsty.
Catapult him into first place. First place.
Then we got Ryan, Teddy Carwile, Derek Drescher, Keith, and then last but not least, Chrissy P. Chrissy P. won't take an E for the anthem, but will for Yanni's D. Trump 2020.
I love the ones that end in Trump 2020. That's a good one. It's a Drexler. Wow.
Okay.
I mean, this is just so much fucking fun. I can't handle it.
Yeah. Let's read. Who do we got the PPW nominees, Mikey?
So we got Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious, no fumes, Brian. We have Jordan sliding into Peach Mommy's inbox. Oops, never mind. Trump 2020 Parish.
10.
Hot Sauce Jimbo trying to fuck a bimbo. Cutie with the smoothie with the big old ghetto booty.
No, yeah.
Casey, the situation Anthony. Jackie Boy, Drip Dick COVID-14 is the flu, Lada 419.
Funny, but
like that. Very original.
Yeah, original though.
Jimmy Z, the quarantine cuz with the fumes in my fuzz.
Good one.
My body is 70% water, and Father Bill is thirsty.
I mean, he came in at the end. Yeah, he came in at the end, and he just took it with fucking originality and hilariousness.
Yeah, thank you. So, yeah, that's the winner. You're the PPW. We appreciate you guys listening. And listen, we'll get this one out as soon as possible because, I mean, we got medical advice. Make no mistake, the spectrum of intelligence on our fan base is so fucking wild.
Not only is the spectrum, that's one of my favorite things about this podcast is we get, a spectrum of intelligence, a spectrum of ethnicity, gender. I mean, we got everything. We do have trans fans, by the way. I've been DM'd by them. So that you've said that we got the most trans fans. I don't know if we got the most trans fans, but we do have some trans fans, which is hilarious.
Which is hilarious. So thank you guys. So I think we have fans from we probably have hermaphrodite fans. We get email. If you're a hermaphrodite, inbox the History Hyenas Instagram account. We'd love to see your pieces.
I love it, man. I love it. We love you guys. It's just, we're all united here. It's a community. We're just trying to have fun. We're all gathering around, trying to make some funnies and laugh and have a good time and entertain you. And we hope you and your families are safe during this. And don't be fucking stupid and listen to Lukasz. Listen to people like that. We're trying to slow this thing down, and then we got to figure out how to open up this economy again so Trump gets reelected.
Yeah, the only way to do it. And if you guys want to see us every single day,
Wei Shang Xing.
Wayside Sheehan. If you guys want to see us every single day, patreon.com/Bay Ridge Boys for Wepa in the morning, 9 a.m. Eastern time. We go live. So, all right, babies. Thank you guys so much, little baby Gorgia.
Oh.